because it felt like this, like, okay, lightning bolt moment, something that gets completely shattered, and yet there's something new that's being born from this space. And that is where we get to be. There's something new being born from the space of whatever you are experiencing that is shaking your life upside down. And so the flowers begin to blossom. There we go. Let's have some coffee together, shall we? Hello there. How are you? Happy beginning of April. You ready for some story time? March for me was oh so interesting, to say the least. And as I'm feeling into the energy, the really potent energy that was cultivated with this new moon in Aries that we just had, we're still in the energy of it. And this week has a lot going on astrologically, as has this entire year in the past couple of years. We can't get away from this stuff. And the more I come to understand it through that perspective, the more it all makes just such really beautiful sense. So, March. First, well, before I get into March, I'm like, where do I begin? And this is why, I'm going to be totally honest. This is why it's taken me a while to even share this video, because I've been in this space of like, where do I even begin? And to be even a deeper layer of honest, because I've been in this space of just like very the quantum opening and evolution, and just like this really it's hard to put into words how I've continued to open up and experience just like life and energy and our life force. I've been in the space of like, how do I now really put all of this into service? Like, how does this signify a shift and a pivot and a transformative leap in my own way of showing up? What does my business look like? Where do I serve from this place of deepening into my own connection with consciousness and all the really beautiful, magnificent, hard, all the things that have been happening in my life, certainly for the past 2 years, but reaching this really crescendo, this like peak over the past couple of months, I would say. And so now I sit in this place where I feel myself like something has been renewed in me, really in this magnificent way. And I'll explain a little bit why, some of the things that brought me into this space. But now I sit here and I'm like, how do I show up? What is the need? And that is important because I want to, and really the most important thing is to come from a place that's very authentic and true, and then that will magnetize, and whoever is meant to listen to that message and desires to listen to that message and will feel supported by whatever message that is, whatever information, anything of that nature that has to do with more like the business things in the world. But more and more they really are intertwined with who I am, because understanding my sense of what is I call it your divine appointment. You have one too, and you probably have like very deep inklings about what that is, or maybe you're not quite there yet, but you know that there's something that is meant to come through from you, right? So let's talk then about the whole life force seen through the lens and seen through the energy of when lightning strikes and when flowers blossom. We're in a very Uranian time. Uranus has been in Taurus. It's going to continue to make some abrupt, like lightning bolt kind of changes there. It certainly has reflected for me in my life. Maybe you have felt them too. So that is that lightning strikes. We are in a time when we are being changed and shifted. And if you are open to that, that's really key. You don't even have to understand how it happens. or sometimes even why it happened, you just have to welcome it. So much of what we get to do as these, kind of like catalysts for the paradigm shifts that have been coming, right? If you see yourself as one of these souls that's like, ooh, there's something really beautiful that I get to do to help catalyze the changes that are happening and the new things that are opening up for all of us. Primarily, you get to be open, and you get to really be willing to surrender all of the ways that you thought something had to happen. Because chances are it's not going to happen the way you thought they should happen, would happen, could happen. They might come at you in a completely different way, and it will blend together with the gifts that you've been cultivating. Like, trust the gifts that you've been cultivating, whatever those may be. Whether they're more in the energy realm, your spiritual gifts, your spiritual opening, your spiritual sparks of like, newness and remembrance. There's a lot of deep remembrance that we're like is being brought to us right now. Or it's tangible gifts. You're a great writer, you're a great speaker, you're an artist, you're an activist. Whatever it is that you do, and of course, needless to say, you're a mom, or you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor. It's the gifts that you bring into form. They blend in with the gifts that you have in more of the light realm. And that's what we are, right? We are these vessels for bringing, what I always say is that we turn our light into form. That's what you're doing all the time. So when these Uranian lightning bolt kind of energies come through, and they have been coming through, and now they're at this like peak, right? If you are open, anything in your life that is not meant to be a part of your chapter right now will dissolve. Sometimes dissolve in a graceful way. Sometimes it will literally be blown out of the water like a lightning bolt that just like a tower moment, like the tower card in the tarot. And something like that happened to me with the great real world example is my Instagram account. My Instagram account a couple of weeks ago was hacked and deleted. I woke up on a Saturday morning and got a message on WhatsApp from a hacker. And the hacker said, I have control of your Instagram account, and if you don't give me money, I'm going to delete it within 5 minutes. That person tried to call my WhatsApp, call my phone through WhatsApp. I didn't engage. I didn't reply back. I didn't answer. And then they asked again, so are you going to pay or not? And by this time, I had already received a message from Instagram on email saying, there was some funky stuff happening the night before also. That's just, if you want to hear the full story, Jules and I have a podcast episode where we go into it a little bit deeper. You can listen to that. But the point is that within 5 minutes, my account was gone. Completely gone, disappeared. We're talking about, years of having this personal account that then I didn't use for a while. And then when I opened my business in 2018, my coaching business, I reinvigorated the account and basically, was nurturing and curating it and investing in it, time, money, energy, external support to grow an Instagram account for my business that I had, almost like 5,000 followers. Very, not a huge list of people, but I was very proud of the work that I had done there, and it was gone. And here's the thing is that I had already been feeling a lot of resistance around Instagram. I'd already been feeling this sense of like dissonance, like I wasn't quite aligned with it. It felt like a lot of work that there was something energetically that was off with Instagram, and I still feel that way. I feel very much that there is something not quite conducive to our growth. And Instagram and social media in general have a lot of great things to offer for small businesses, and also I think it's kind of it's sort of a trap, and there's a lot of emotional and energetic investment that goes into it that's not quite reciprocated energetically. And so you might end up feeling like you're just kind of like putting stuff in this sort of vacuum, because it is. And then in a second it can be taken away. And so my sort of journey very quickly, what I felt was a sense of freedom. I felt a sense of lightness. I did not feel triggered by the event. I felt like the universe was opening a door, closing a door very abruptly, and also opening other doors that I had yet to see. It provided this very immediate shift in perspective for me, and almost like a total blessing in disguise, which is similar to how I felt when I was laid off from my job back in early 2018. Obviously, that was a much more life-altering situation, and yet the feeling tone of it, the energy of it, the shift in my own like energetic understanding and like my vibration was very similar, because it felt like this, like, okay, lightning bolt moment, something that gets completely shattered, and yet there's something new that's being born from this space. And that is where we get to be. There's something new being born from the space of whatever you are experiencing that is shaking your life upside down. And so the flowers begin to blossom. And that's more of the Venusian energy that has also been playing a big role. Other planets are doing great things. Oh, that was so beautiful. You can hear that little bird. Obviously, we have the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction happening in a couple of weeks, which is like, oh my God, like 10 days from now, 9 days from now. That's an incredibly magical space. But Venus has also been playing a really pivotal role in the blossoming of a new kind of authenticity. Venus represents our sense of worth, our sense of beauty, our sense of this inner abundance, this inner sense of just having this absolute feeling of love and beauty, innate beauty, and seeing it in ourselves and seeing it in the world, of course, but anything that we're seeing outside of the world is because we're seeing it through us. So the more you see your inner beauty, the more beauty is reflected outside of you. It's really not the other way around, although that's what we've been kind of taught. The more you embrace your inner sense of your own awakening and your own lightning bolt moments that shake you completely to the core, the more you will see that reflected outside of you and be able to honor it and be able to see the path that everybody else is on. So it really always begins with you, which is so, so incredible and beautiful to understand. It's very, very empowering that everything begins with you. And so when lightning strikes and flowers bloom, we have this beautiful manifestation of nature. Think about these two elements of nature, lightning and flowers. They really are manifestations. They are expressions of Gaia. They are expressions of Pachamama. They are expressions of Earth in its purest, most beautiful and powerful form. I think it's about to start raining. I'm in Miami, by the way. We've been in Puerto Rico. We're in Miami for a couple days, and then we're heading to Los Angeles tomorrow. And as I go on this journey, I take with me the lightning bolts and the flowers that are blossoming. I take with me this life force that seeks to be born through my own sense of who I am and where I'm choosing to be and who I'm choosing to be moment by moment. So March was rocked by the deletion of my Instagram account, which obviously had a bigger symbolic meaning. March was also rocked to the core because Jules and I, my husband and I, decided intentionally to embark in this whole new journey of plant medicine, ancestral plant medicine that we've started in Puerto Rico, and has been such a pivotal turning point in our lives. I can't tell you how magnificent, potent, indescribable it's been to embark on this, this opening of new worlds of embracing, of trying a variety of different plant medicines, being on retreat, and connecting with the earth in this way. I'm just now starting, so I'm not going to go all too deep into it because it's not really my realm of expertise. And I'm sure there's more to come in this space because it's been incredibly transformative. Also, March was rocked by this lightning bolt tattoo, which I got 2 days before my Instagram account was hacked and deleted. this is all threaded together really, really beautifully. And I share all this stuff because what I want, what I would hope, is that you, in your own world, in your own realm of your beauty and your lightning bolts, that you can also see and put the pieces together. We are ultimately weavers. We are weaving the experiences that are happening around us and weaving the experiences and the things that come through us. We are weaving as we go. Our story, our medicine, our honoring of who we are and how we respond to the world around us. So consider yourself a weaver of absolute magic. Along with this weaving, in my own instance, has been this deepening into how I weave astrology, the tarot, archetypes, all into my coaching. I haven't taken on too many clients over the past couple of months. I've been in a very intentional space of resting so that I may receive and I may integrate, and I'm still in that space. But I have had the absolute pleasure of working with a few people that have reached out for certain sessions, and those have been absolutely powerful. I can see how, from where I stand now, there's a whole new level of what I can offer the world, and that just really, really delights me. And I want to do it in a way that feels very potent and very accessible. It may not be for everybody right now. It may not resonate with everybody, but whoever it does resonate with, it's like a total before and after moment. Because that is my intention for how these sessions are taking place. Right now, like I said, we're in Miami. We're going to Los Angeles for a week for fun. Then we're going to go to New York, also for fun. Then we're going to go back to Puerto Rico. Being in Puerto Rico has allowed me the space to connect with my roots, with my ancestral lineage, with the land in a way that has just healed my soul. Healing has been this big, primal, beautiful pulse that's been just coming through. Also being in complete love and in service with and to my husband, Jules, who, as you may or may not know, was diagnosed with a disease called ALS 2 years ago, actually 2 years in March. And that's been rocking our lives to the core. And him and I have found a whole new peace. It was like this rebirth that happened that rocked me to the core. Lightning bolts and flowers blossoming and blooming. My wish for you and my wish for all of us is that we may embrace the lightning bolts and the flowers, that we may embrace the unknown, that we may walk ourselves into the unknown spaces, that we may embrace our sense of beauty, true beauty, that we all know that we are complete and whole, and that in this journey of your own evolution and your own transformation, that in itself is a beautiful act. So I want to thank you for being on that path, because I know over watching this you are. Thank you on behalf of humanity. Thank you on behalf of, all of us, from my heart. And yeah, I guess that's it. I will be back with a video soon. I don't quite know what to say at this point, but that's okay. I'm just going to sit with it. Maybe just take a breath and a sip. Because we don't always have to know what to say. Your head wants you to want to know what to say, because if not, then there's all this story of but what are they going to do? And our souls have so much more information in them that our heads can't process. Our heads were designed for a certain job, meaning our brain, our mind was designed for a certain job. It's a tool. But our soul has so much more information that our head can't really begin to process. So give yourself space. Allow yourself to be in the edge of discomfort, of not knowing. Sit in that space. Cry in that space if you must. And know that everything that happens in your life truly works in your favor. All of it. All of it. Being in a space of non-resistance to what is one of the keys. And I'm certainly not making this up. But that's why non-resistance, just accepting, being with what is powerful. It's beautiful. So thank you for listening, watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for being you. Be more of you. More of that, please. And if you're interested in working with me in any way, you know where to find links and things to book sessions. Feel free to always email me. Email me. Don't look me up on Instagram because I'm not there anymore. That show closed down a couple weeks ago. But please email me, and I'd love to be in connection, be of service in some way, whatever way I can. So, all my love, and we'll talk soon. Okay? Mwah.